Good morning, YouTubers. I am going to make a tutorial of how you to set up ICOM with info. Okay, so everybody can pay attention. First, we go here and we go on C drive, and this is the server for this is the server. AWS is the server for this right here, and we go here bin file, and then we right click on an AWS INI file, and we open that with Notepad++. It can be opened with Notepad as well. And for here, we put remote. All right, for interface. Okay, and then we scroll down. And then we run iTool Radar like this. And then we look at the IP address. Our IP address for the ICOM is 169.254.92.38. You see that? I put it right there. And the COM port B6801. And then you save the file. Okay? All right, cool. And then what we do now, we run iTool Radars again. Although I closed it by mistake, what we do, we go and click on reserve, and it will change from free to reserve. And then what we do now, we run import to test if we get battery voltage on and ignition on in the color black, and there it is. We're working on an E70, so we can test if we read out a control module, and then we read out the functional jobs, and then we can read also the information on the module, and the info, and so on. And then we look at the ID, identify the module, and you see that the system set up to work with we can set up the print function by installing Adobe on the computer. Adobe Reader is already installed on it, and this is Adobe Reader here. And now what we do now, we set up the print function by go right here, click on device and printers, and then we scroll down and we will look for this one that says Microsoft Print to PDF or Microsoft Print to PDF. Right click on it, and then we click set to default. Let me show you here. We have right click on this, we say see that, set to default, and that's it. When you print the print function like this now, it will open up a dialog box, and my dialog box is already set where I already put the BMW E70 VIN number in this. I create a folder and I name the folder this, and this is it right here. So I name the folder this, and then I save all the information that I want out of IMPA or Winkfp or IMPA or ISTD, wherever I run it, and so on and so forth. So let us call this now identification for all control units. And then we go forward. We're gonna end this right now. We're gonna run Winkfp, and we're going to import we're gonna do a Winkfp import for the FRM module. So we go into Winkfp, and then let me maximize this some more. And then we go here. We go on configuration. Mine is already set up. So when I do in configuration, I click on this black box right there, that square box right there, and I go to the NFS folder, and I direct it on C drive. Go right here and click NFS, and then save it as such. Then we click backup here, and then it create a backup, and then we created a dial prop where it will be a base directory for the exported configuration called development data if we're going to run expert mode. We create a log for this. We go here and we created on the C drive here a folder that is called preference log. Pref logs, that's what it's called. So this is where the logs is stored for Winkfp, and then we click OK. Some people, the API trace level can be set to 1. Some people set theirs to 1, and so on. Show programming voltage, we can click that, and force programming in comfort mode. So we click yes, and then we're going to go to export, import assembly line data. We go here, and then we go to ISTP, and then we go to BMW, and then we find the different folders, the data, and we're going trip folder, we're going ISTP, and then we're going BMW, and then we're going services here. And let me maximize this some more. Okay, there's no box here to maximize. Then we're going ECU data, and then we look for the E70 folder, and here's it right here. We go down here, and then we click on data. And then we know we can go into the NFS folder and C drive. We can go here, right here, and then we can click on the data folder. These things will be, over copied over in, and then when we do like this, now we click on data, and then we click, and you will see now it start to populate the area. It's gonna populate over here. You're gonna see it begin to come up, and so on. There it goes. Usually, it comes up with a dialog box to say that it find another folder with files of the same type, and it gives you an option to click yes or no, but it's going to come up with the dialog box where yes is highlighted with checkboxes around the yes box. Then you hold the enter key on the keyboard continually, and it will override all files in the same area. Because you know that two folders with the same name can have the same files. Okay, Winkfp finished importing for the E70. And now we're going to import also the SVG. These that we're going to import. We're going to import the SVG. We're going to import the SVG. This one, ESGB. It will be going in this folder here. These are ECU folders. Going to go in the ECU folder, and then we're going to now find where it's at. The Winkfp again. We go here, and go here, and we go here. We're going back right to the same data, ECU data. We're going to find the same E70 folder. And we're going to look for ECU. This is it. And those are what we call the SGBD file. SG stands for control unit and BD stands for description file. These are the program control unit files. So we're going to actually press the control button on the keyboard with the letter A, and then we highlight everything, and then we click the enter key, and then it will copy it over everything. And that is what I was saying to you. The dialog box comes up where it says that if we should overwrite the files. See, it already checked the files with the box highlighted in square boxes, highlighted them. So we hold the enter key, and it will keep blinking, going forward, overwriting all the other files that are in the here. I didn't want to overwrite them. I didn't want to keep them, and so on. And it's finished now. So this is what it started right here at these 2,313. So we're going to import now that IPO files, and we go import. We go here. PABD are the description files, which are located here. We go back to the NFS folder here, and then we go up here, and we go on SGD. SG stands for control unit, and DAT stands for data or data file. So we go back right here, and then we go right here, and then we put control button on keyboard, the letter A, and highlight it, and then we press. But I can't do it because I already have the IPO files there updated. So what I'm going to do now is to basically, I already update those. So this right here, ratio 2, this showing that it's the same copy of a later file added to the old copy beneath it. So that is really 2 in the parentheses here, showing that the files is later updated, but I did copy them directly by doing this. I copied them directly by right click, by highlighting everything, and then I click Control with the letter C, and I copy it, and I bring over the mouse over here, and I click into the here, then I click the paste button, and then it's gonna come up with a dialog box that says, okay, I'll find files on the system, but I'm not gonna click replace the files in the destination. No, I'm gonna click let me decide for each file, and I click right here, the files that we're gonna transfer from Winkfp over to the files here, over into the folder, the SG folder. So we'll click continue, we go forward. It's going to update all of them, and all the files that are late is going to now give it a different number in parentheses called 3. So we have all the files there and so on. And we just click cancel and close out the whole thing. And I think everything is updated now. So we can actually see if we can actually go in comfort mode, and we can now actually go and pull up the FRM. I'm going to look for the FRM, which is this right here on address 72, right here, and we're going to copy this number right here. We're going to copy this number here, and we're going to see if Winkfp finds the number to update it inside of enter ZUSA member number. ZUSA member number is called assembly number. Let us see if it finds it without an error. Okay, good. Here it goes. It finds it as FRM2. Okay, and this is the part number for it, and the address of it, it is on address 72. So we click OK, and we go forward. So what we do now, we are going to actually enter the VIN number. So what we do now, we find what the VIN number is of the folder, which is this one right here. We can open up also I run study before. Let me see if I can find vehicle details list. Let me see if I can find the VIN number from the fall code list, which I save out of study, which is this one here. And let me copy the whole VIN. The whole VIN will be, this is it right here. Copy the whole VIN. And that is how I set up my work. I organize my folders, everything. I can copy the short VIN in this box, and and Winkfp will do the rest, but I just do that and put the large VIN there. And then right now I can actually say done. And you see that? It picks out the files for the data set file that is called PABD. BD in German stands for Biden Daten, which means description file. And the PE represents the IPO extension that is a data set file. And then the P here stands for programming, and SG stands for control unit. The BD also is representing description file. So therefore, let us see if we can program the FRM and change the VIN number in it, because currently the VIN number in the FRM is not highlighted here in this. The VIN number is not highlighted here for it. You see, the VIN number is not highlighted here. I think the VIN number can be read out by input. I think the VIN number may be wrong. So we're going to try to change the VIN numbers. And as you can see that the original VIN number for the car is this one. This is what is in the CAS. And right now, when we read out the car, I do not know if it's to be read the CAS unit first or read the FRM. I think it read the FRM first, because the vehicle order is also backed up in the FRM and so on and so forth. But before I do that, I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to use NCS Expert, and I'm going to read out the vehicle details. All right, so let me minimize this Winkfp, and let me see if I can run NCS Expert at the same time, if both of them will connect to the car while one is connected. Let me see. Let me run NCS dummy, and let me see if I will be able to read out the E70 and see if it will find it. This is the FRM, so we're going to see if it read out. If it doesn't read out, oh, it does it. There it goes. It read it out. So therefore, it still read it out while Winkfp is connected to the same car on the same line. You see that? So I do not disconnect from it. So therefore, this is the check digit on the, let me see if I can save this open file. Let me see if I can, okay, cool. I'm not going to open that. I want to save this file here, but I'm going to see if I can print out the whole thing where, let me go back. Okay, there's not a .man file created. I have to create a .man file in this folder here. And I have to go here, NCS Expert. And I have to go in the work folder. And I have to copy this one here. Let me copy this file. And let me go back one level up. Let me paste this file in this region. And I'm going to call it a .man file. .man is short for manipulate. And I'm going to copy back this file, and I'm going to put it back in this area. Okay, cool. I'm going to try to choose an ECU to read out from, but it seems like I need to find the FRM. Let me see if I can find the FRM here. But it seems like it doesn't show up, but I can still find it. Let me see if I can go back here. Enter FA. No, we're not going to do that. FRM. We look at what the vehicle order is. The vehicle order will be the FA, central encoding key, which lists the chassis and also the type of vehicle and the criterion for the color, the upholstery, and also, things for what the transmission is called, 205, and so on and so forth. We're going to read out from the CAS the same thing and see if it comes up with the same. Yes, it comes up with the same message where it highlight now, the bottom of the buttons at the bottom of the software, make it black so it read it out. We get the same check digit. So it seems like the VIN number in the FRM is correct, because we read out the FRM previously and we get the same VIN number, and then we read out the CAS and now we get back the same thing. So it seems like I don't really want to use Winkfp now and change the VIN number. You know what I'm saying? But I can still try to program it and see what will play out. Okay? So if I do program, I'm going to click program and program the FRM. Let us see what will play out. Okay, we get this error. Something is wrong here. It tells us the first line, 4102, is where the error is identified. It said the needed number for the part number not found in the file of the con.temp folder. Let us go there And let us find out how we can find out what we do wrong here in this folder here. We go in NFS, then we go in data, and then we find the file that's the K, somewhere here along the line. Here's it. This folder that says K-temp, this one that says hardware number that DA25. So the part number cannot be found in this file here. Hardware H this file. The part number cannot be, so we right click that and we open it with Notepad++. Let us look at the part number. The part number is 91762. Sorry, 9176825. So we're gonna click search. We're gonna click Control and F. We're gonna type in 9176825. We're gonna hit enter. You see, it said can't find the text below because this number is not in it. So we have to click the box. It's not there. It's not found in it. So I really and truly do not know how to put this part number in this file. So I can read the program right now, the FRM, and then the user info field wouldn't be updated. Okay, so we have to click OK, and then it's not gonna go forward. So no big deal. Nothing is wrong with the control module. So everybody can see now the basics of setting up Winkfp to read out the control units on the car. And then, everybody can see. We can even click diagnosis. We can use Winkfp to do ECU status. We can find out this. And this is it. It reads out information into a Word document, like on our Notepad++. It tells you what the current status is of the car. It shows you here the basic part number. And it shows you the ECU identifier 009. And the ZIF simply means user info field, otherwise called UIF. It just can't pick out the vehicle ID. I just don't know why. Somehow it's not seen on the VIN number. So I guess let me see if I can save this as into this document, and then I save it, and then I chose the file. Okay, so then identify the ECU. This is the ECU identified here, and it tells you the part number here at the top, and it tells you the time criterion manufacture date is March of 2008, the 10th day of March the car was released, or so on. It could be also March 10 or okay, date meaning DD comes first, which is the date is day 3 in the month of October. So the car is a 2009. So sorry for recall. Here's the date format here, and it tells you that the DD here represented by the 23, and then the MM represented by 10. So we can save a copy of this, and to save a copy of this in that folder, and then we actually come on. Oh, we added the other name. FRM identity. We can put Winkfp to make it easy. So let's just read ECU interim temp whatever. We say not supported. Okay, no problem. So we say we click done. We go back. We can program it in expert mode, but we have to come up with the right file for it. We have to go here and find them. Let us see if I can find it. Let us see if I can find the file for it. It's the IPO file. Let us see if we can find it. I guess we can do it because we have two files to find. We have the PADD file and the description file, which is the IPO file in this. We have that to find. I think it will be here. Let us see if we can find it. FRM2. Okay, still don't find it. So 0, 0, 8. Oh, 1. And 0, 0, 0, 0. FRM2. And here's the file right here. This is it right here in the system and find it. and so on. So we're going to try to locate and find the other one. The other one would be located in the easterly direction, which would be this, that 35, and it will be called 08 flush. And there's it right here, 08 flush. So that is what we choose in comfort mode. But in expert mode, we have to choose a file like this one called NAVD. This is thing called the boot sector file update. And this one is this file here is a 038 flash file, which we have to hunt for it and find it. I have to look for 0808, blah, blah, blah. Zero eight. Zero 08 is coming up. Here's it. It's called 08 flash. Here's it right here. That's it. 08 flash. And the PABD would be searching for the box. Gonna come up with it. Here it goes. Alright, now we're gonna look for the FRM name. The FRM name is 0801. So what we'll do is scroll down to 0. Alright, here's it. Hold on. 0801. Look for FRM now in the region of 0801. Here's it. Here's the FRM2 file, IPO file. Here's it right here. We have two of them, FRM PL2 and FRM. We have FRM PL2. We're going to choose this one, and this one it chose for us, so we can choose that one. For the NAV file, it said not found, so we can do anything right now with it. So we can close Winkfp, just to set it up and I'm showing people how to do importation of assembly line data, and right here, and then right here, and then right here. Okay, so let's just close that, and then we can go back and we can click here in NCS Expert, and we can say process ECU. We're gonna process the FRM, and then we are going to see what is in the FRM. We're gonna find out that the FRM coding files are these: FRM2 underscore E7 dash 0 C08, and this one that says PL2 FRS.IPO, and then the FRM is underscore that says that here. So these are the coding files for the FRM. So if I write say code here date listen, meaning that we're gonna read out the information, and the information when we read it out is gonna be here in the NCS folder. It's going to be in the work folder, and it's gonna populate this list. We're gonna read out it right here. And see it already read out something already, but I can empty the whole file and I can delete it and I can press the save button and save it. But as soon as I click read ECU or execute job, we can click read ECU. It's gonna populate the file. It's gonna populate the TRC file. I do not know if it's gonna populate it without errors because I open it into the editor, and then again to see the information. Okay, these are the hexadecimal in the editor. This is it right here. I can save this for the FRM. We can save as. Yeah, that's the not a trace. That's the not a trace, so we save it. And also we can also close that. We can now execute the job. Execute job means this is the job name right there, code here, didn't listen. It's going to write information to this FSW, PSW.trc file right here, open up in the editor. That is highlighted there. FSW means keyword protocol and PW means parameter keyword. PSW means parameter keyword and FSW means keyword parameter. Yeah, keyword. Let me see if I can. It's finished. Let me see if I can. Yeah, reload it. Yes, this is it. It populates everything from the FRM model, and this is it right here. This is the FRM information that come out for coding. So what we can do now, we can actually, we can go up in. We can open up NCS dummy, and we also can look for the E70 chassis group right here, and we are going to also look for the name of the file. The module is the FRM2. FRM2 would be this one right here, E70, yeah. It will be CO8. And we can look on the file here, we can see right here, it's a CO9. But I choose FRM2, E70 CO. Now, let me choose CO8 and see what it will do. Let me choose, yeah, that's this one. Let me choose, let me see if it will come up with error. Let me choose also the file, let me browse for the FSW file, which is this one right here, and load it. It should come up at the bottom with no error, okay? So you see now, it says at the bottom right here, it says that at the time, 10:38 in the morning, I load trace file, keyword protocol, and parameter keyword, that TRC file with 680 functions in it. We can do coding of the FRM right now if we want to turn on certain things on and off. You know what I mean? So this is it right here. Let me see if I can maximize it on the screen and give persons a tutorial on how to use the NCS dummy to read out TRC file out of any control modules and the e-chassis BMWs, and you can turn on and off keywords, like, you know what I mean, the functioning of the car. You can turn on certain stuff, you know what I mean? So hopefully other people can learn it and so on and so on. This is how simple it is. You can turn on functions in terms of the coding in the FR, certain things and so on and so forth. And I don't know. The owner does not have me to do anything on a car like this, so I'm just using this as a tutorial means to show people. Okay, so when we finish doing any coding, what we do now, we export the FSW PSW to a man file, and that is what we will call it right here. Export FSW man, and it will export it and override the man file that is in NCS export right here. It will populate this with the same information after we make coding changes. And then when we go back to NCS export, we can actually write back information to the car. We can close this. We can even minimize that. We can go back here and then we go to exchange job. Go to exchange job. Oh, sorry, I click execution job by default. Sorry. I click on the wrong one. Let it finish. Read out the FRM model. I didn't make any changes to it. What we do now, when we finish making the changes to the FSW1 file, we go here and we change from code here, then listen. Does it mean coding read? And then we go to SG coding, control unit write. And then we can execute job. And then it will execute it. And then when it's finished, it's going to come back up with the buttons at the bottom highlighted in black. It's the same thing I'm writing back to the car. It's just a tutorial. It should come back up without errors because I never really make any coding changes. I just dumped the FSW file from the NCS dummy into the .man file, and that's it. You see, come back up with no errors. Same file written back to the car. So it's just a way I show you how in one tutorial how to import the assembly line data and also how to connect the icon and use this I2 radar to lock the icon, and how you go into the INI EWS file and make sure that it has the you go back here and then you go to the bin file, and then you also open up that, and then you make sure that the remote host for the icon will be this. Then you save the file, and then you put the icon IP address right here, and then that's it. And the port will be 6801, and that's it. You just click save, and then you're good to go. And then now when you finish that settings right here, you just open up iTool Radar, and then usually it will be set to free. Now you click on reserve, and then iTool Radar reserve the IP address and lock it to the file, this one. And it locks in as remote here, locks it as remote interface, and then it locks it to the IP address so you can communicate. Okay, so that's it. So right now we finished, and we're gonna close our Incest Expert and finish this tutorial right now. And if you want to also write FA to the car, we go back to main menu. We can click here and we can enter FA, and then we can choose the chassis, and then we click OK. And then this is the check digit of the car. X is the check digit. So what we do, we can calculate checksum and see if we get back the same thing. Okay, but nevertheless, these options right here in this box here, these are all the central encoding key, which sets up the vehicle profile, otherwise called FA, otherwise called vehicle order in the E series, and called FA in the F series and the G series BMWs. Okay, this is what they call the central encoding key, or they make all of these list the different options on the car. Okay, let me go back to the work folder and let me save also. I'm gonna save this into a I'm going to save also the PIN number. I'm going to create a text, and I'm going to save that with the check digit X. So I'm going to open up this, and I'm going to paste Control V, take a shortcut of the keyboard where X is the check digit. Okay, people, everybody, whenever you buy a used BMW DME and you try to put it into another car and the check digit is wrong, you will get a check digit error in the fault codes that when you read out the car with history, you will see it showed up with that problem. Okay, I'm going to show you a file which I did for somebody on a car before. Okay, just give me some time. Let me pause this video and let me transfer a file from my laptop to this current computer that I'm working on for about it. Okay, so let me save this file in the media and let me pause this for now. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Look, whenever the check digit is wrong in a used DME when you purchase it, and then you try to use Auto X2 or Abrites to change the parameters of the individual serial number in it, and then you come up with fault codes like this in this study, then it simply means that the check digit is wrong. You will get these fault codes in it whenever you buy a used DME from someone else or take it from another car, and you try to change the VIN number. The VIN number can be changed, okay, but the problem with the individual serial number are the dump. If the dump is not correct of what is exactly in the EPROMs for the original ECU for the car, and you did not read that out, or you probably cannot recreate it exactly out of the cast dump of the original car, then you will get this information. You will get AJS scan toward reduction, and you will get DME adaptation values incorrect, and you will get also DME self test, the checksum. The checksum in the DME is wrong. And there's a checksum there that must be synchronized with the checksum in the CAS unit. Because all of the checksums, they are basically sum total to sum of certain digits in certain numbering that is up to be with or in the DME and the CAS and the EDS. If the check digit is wrong, you're not gonna be able to have that car to start and run and hide it. It will give these fault codes. And then you will also have speed limitation reset. Okay? And then you will also have a CAN data fault from the DME. And then probably you will also have something concerning the ABS/DSC CAN data error from DME. Okay? And then also you might also have a problem with the pressure sensor from the ABS and so on. So you will get these fault codes whenever you use a swap DME and you use a brightness commander or say Auto X2 to do it, or BMW Explorer. If those persons who do it for you do not know what they're doing, or if you send in the DME to somebody for them to recondition the DME, and then they send in the CAS with the original key, and they use that and do a bench test and read out certain values from the EPROM, and if they don't do it properly, you will get these problems with it. And there are the criteria for the DME too. Certain things has to be altered and changed. And then those guys are experts who are third-party market players in the field. If they do not know what to do, to make the information be compatible with the CAS unit and EGS, the car won't run properly. Or if it runs, it will give false codes and it will give problems. And sooner or later, it shut off itself because it won't be idling properly. will have this problem called adaptation value is incorrect. And the adaptation is controlled by the daemon. Okay, so you will get those file codes. So far, I'll close this tutorial and I'll be good to go. So have a nice day, everybody. And we close out this. I know somebody learned something today. So we have to go. Goodbye for now. We're going to release the icon from NSS Expert, and it's free. And we're going to run back in study, and we're going to be able to see the icon now free, and it will be able to read out the car detail data again. And there's it. Double click on that to read out KL15 and terminal 30, and there it goes. And it reads out the VIN number of the car, and then we're good to go. Okay, so this car has, I think it's 110 file codes, and now I delete it. It goes back to about 28, so we have certain things to be fixed properly later on. And you can see that this guy have a lot of line fault on his car and so on. You can see the car probably is a crash vehicle or they bought it from somewhere. The problem with this car that when we read out with Winkfp, the whole car, it tells us that it cannot find the vehicle order and it asks us by force to import the vehicle order for the car. Because the vehicle order is stored in the CAS and it's also backed up in the FRM module. But I think the problem is with the FRM module, not the CAS unit, because the vehicle order is being read out right now, and if the vehicle order is read out now by the study, we won't reach this far in our stable fault code stable list. And we won't be seeing vehicle information like this, and we won't be seeing vehicle details. So instead of read out the car vehicle order, because it finds the VIN, I think it reads it from the CAS unit. And I think when you're using Winkfp, it should be able to read it from the CAS unit, but if you're going to replace a CAS unit, the vehicle order also must be able to read out from the FRM module in which it is backed up. And that is a problem with this E70. It asks us to import the vehicle order because it cannot read it, because I think it is reading it by default from the footwell module and not from the CAS unit. Because Winkfp, I think they make it by which you can replace the CAS unit, but when you replace the CAS unit, the vehicle order has to be read from the FRM. And then that vehicle order being read from the FRM, it will be the same thing written back to the brand new CAS unit when you replace it. And then vice versa. If you're going to replace the FRM, the CAS unit will be there having the same information, and then it will read the information of the vehicle order, otherwise called vehicle profile, with the vehicle options, and then write it in the FRM and back it up. So I think in Winkfp, it reads out the CAS by default, the vehicle order, but in Winkfp, I think it reads it from the FRM. So that is the reason why we get the error that the central encoding key or the vehicle order cannot be read. I'm going to close Winkfp right now, and I'm going to run Winkfp, and I'm going to also, okay, something I did. Let me do it back. Sorry, let me read out the car again. There's something I want to say. The vehicle order, the vehicle profile. Let me read out this again. Let me pause the video and wait until it finishes. Okay, it's reading out the ECU, and then it's reading out the vehicle order out of the CAS unit, and the vehicle order is made up of the vehicle option and the color of the car, the year, the build year, and everything that has to do with the criteria of the car, and so on. And then, okay, it's finished. We're gonna go to vehicle details, and we're gonna click right here. When we click right here, we can, once we click in the area, let me maximize it on the screen. We double click the gray area here, and where the mouse is at. And what we do, if we want to copy also the retrofit or the optional equipment that lists up the vehicle profile on the car, we just click in the area and then we click on the print icon here, and then we click print vehicle details, and then we comes up and says print the default printer, and then we will put this directly into the folder where we have all the files for the E7. So what we call this now, we call it vehicle order details. for the FA or vehicle profile. Okay, cool. These are these things that is listed here. As we scroll down, you see, we can see all of these options that is on the car. We see them in English. So it tells you right here, the EWS, its option code is unknown, and the AHMU is option code is unknown. But for the 90 ampere hour AGM battery that is in the car, it is identified by the option code as A090. And as you can see, that 90 is there telling you in the option code that is listed that it's a 90 ampere hour battery. And it goes on for other systems in the car, like the i5 loudspeaker system is represented by 0676. So these are the option codes that make up the vehicle order of the car. These are the option codes that make up the vehicle order for the car. So they start off with a 0, and then but the real option here is the 2VB. 2VB identify that the car has a tire pressure monitoring indicator on it. So 02VB, take out the 0. We understand that 2VB is the three codes that really make it distinct from the others. All the others have 0 at the beginning. What is the last three digits, like 220 is self-link suspension, and then also the 18-inch alloy wheels, star spoke style, is represented by 2RX, and so on. It goes on from there. So everybody can see now how the vehicle order. For xenon light, you have the code 522. So that is right there in a nutshell. For navigation professional, you have 609. And for voice control input, you'll be having 620. So everybody can see right there. Okay. So what we do now, we just we can display measure strand, although we don't create any for this car is not an F car where we would have go to vehicle management and then software update. It tells you here that it's not E series. It's not sorry, not an F series, but an E series. Because you see it right here says E70. And the eye level of this E70, right now the actual eye level on it is from September '09. Sorry, '09 here is 2009, and then '03 is the month of March. And also it will be also the software version number will be 525 is the version number. So it tells you here the year come first, the chassis come first, E70, and then the year come first, '09, and then the month of March is when, the third month in the year, the car was released. So maybe it is a 2009 car. And so control unit replacement, sorry, it's not an F car, so we can do that with that. So we actually, we can make a visual order by looking at another profile that has a visual order. A visual order file is like this. Let me show you. Let me see if I can import one from my computer. Let me see if I can import one from my. Okay, people, this is what a visual order look like when you're gonna use to put it on a sub drive and use Winkfp to import it. I transferred one that someone built for me, and they built it for the E66. So this is what it looked like, everybody. Let me see if I can maximize this on the screen. Let me see if I can actually increase the let me see if I can increase it. Control numbers. Let me see if I can increase it because I'm trying to do this shortcut. Zoom in, control plus number sign. All right, cool. So everybody can see what the visual order, right? This is what we should get for the E70. I can make the E70 visual order off of this one. I can make it off of this one. It's just that I have to change out all of this crap right here, and I can edit out all of this. I can put the VIN number here for the E70. I can also get the location in which the vehicle is built. If it's the location is 0710, probably identify the USA or Germany. And the check digit for the VIN number is X for the E70. So I can make one for this and so on. And then the pin code will be 0A36. And if we go here yesterday, we can see the same thing also for, we can see the same information here. We can see the same information that the VIN number here for this car here is highlighted here, but it is the E66. But all we got to do is copy the VIN right here and then paste it right here. All right, and then we also we can look at the other factors. We can look at the check digit for the check digit for the VIN number is 4 for this E66, but for the E70, I already put it here. I already put it here. It's X. In XS Expert, when I run it, it says it is X. So when we do, let's say for instance we do this, we copy this and we put it here, we press it here, and then we take out we take out the space, and then we take out the X. We will put the X right here. Okay, that's what we create a vehicle order. But what I have to do, I have to find the time criteria. Let me save this file before I override the original file. Let me save it as save it as something that I want to make. I want to put it on the desktop, but let me put it in the BMW folder, which I want to hide. So in this folder right here, that VIN number. But I have to overwrite this VIN number right here with it. I am trying to make it, trying to make this empty VW this. Oh, the name too long. Oh, right, I said too long. Oh, I two times I put it there, sorry. I put it in. The X is the check digit. So let me see it. Okay, cool. So we can now look at other vehicle details, and we can see that we are creating a vehicle order using the template for the E66. I think the E70, the same thing can be there for the E70. We can create the same thing, and then what we do is pull out the year. The time criterion for the car, the E66 make 05, so the time criterion here, I think is 09. Let me see now. I have to be very careful with the time criterion here for the E70. I have to be very, very careful with it. The E70 here, it released. It has the time criterion of the construction date will be 2008-10. So what we have to do now, we have to put, since 10 is already here, but then again they have 11 here, so we can't tell. What I have to do now, I have to make sure that this is very tricky. This is very tricky because it shows for the year right here. And the month, either this is the date or the month will be either the 11 will be, sorry, the 11 will be either the date or the month. And I just can't tell. So what I have to do now, I have to find I have to close out this, and I have to open up back, I have to go back here. What I have to do, I have to find out, let me open like this. This is the real VIN. So what I have to do, I have to find out for this E66 right here. I have to find out the real time criterion, if it is really released either 2010 or 2011 and so on. That is what I have to do. And I have to minimize this for now and so on. So let me stop this right now and pause the video right now. And then I'll get back to you later. Okay, YouTubers? Okay. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Remember to subscribe.